let's jump in right into it. Mr. Gaming Counselor, Jeff hit it.
Welcome to the counselor's office.
That's right. Welcome back to the counselor's office. We are here with a counselor reacts. And no, it has nothing to do with Destiny or Destiny streamers or anything like that. This is something completely different, but in the gaming world. Here I am, actually going to defend someone a little bit who is probably going to make people angry, but as a counselor, you've got to see both sides of things, and so that's what I'm doing here. What am I talking about, Mr. Gaming Counselor? What are you talking about? Some of you already know by looking at the thumbnail. Some of you are raging because of the title. Some of you have no idea what the heck is going on, and you're just interested in the story. So let's go right into it. Let me get my react. Boop. Here we are. To give context before we talk about anything, let's just see something that history was made, okay? Let's just watch it because I haven't really watched it, so I just kind of want to see it for myself. So we're going to react together, right? Let's watch this. This is old Willis Gibson. All right, so as we can see, we got some numbers, lines. It's Tetris. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So, what it says there, technically Gibson made it to the kill screen, the point where the game code glitches and crashes. So, goal, 2 million cleared, 0.9 roll. This is a very high achievement in the gaming world, as many have long called Tetris an unbeatable game. So, just for more reference, when was Tetris made? Tetris was made in 1985. Now, this version specifically, I don't know if it's the same version, but Tetris in itself was made in 1985. And this kid technically beat it. The game crashes, right? That's the whole point. The game crashes. We go through, we see he's freaking out because he's a 13-year-old freaking out because he did something that no one else since 1985 or thereof within that time range was able to do this. People thought that Tetris was unbeatable. This kid has done something that is blowing away the gaming world. And when I say blowing the gaming world away, it's for the people who actually figure out or hear the story and realize, oh, that's actually a thing. Because I did not know until recently, in the past couple days with this news blowing up, that was even a thing. I didn't even know you could beat Tetris or that you couldn't, right? I just never really cared because Tetris is Tetris, right? And there's so many different versions of Tetris now. But the OG version, apparently, you get 99999 and eventually get a kill screen, as we can see here, and the game just crashes, which means you beat it because the game cannot code anymore. It's the kill screen. Why is that a big deal? Because then we have this lady here. News anchor has been called out after diminishing the accomplishment of a 13-year-old beating Tetris, telling him to go outside and that beating the game isn't a real life goal. Let me turn off the music. That way we can give her a fair shake. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten.
Yep.
Because it just goes on and on.
That's what I thought. I didn't know it literally had a kill screen. Oh, she's showing it. Okay.
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks.
That's impressive.
As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look.
Okay. What I get. Okay, I can see a little bit why people are grilling her.
Look at the weather.
Okay, so people were saying she was saying go touch grass, and that's not. She said look at the weather. So obviously she's an older woman. She's also a mom. She has kids. And people are literal history was made by a kid, no less. And she throws the stupid comment in there, just embarrassing, would slot right in with the 80s reporters talking about those Nintendos. W for the kid, L for this boomer reporter. What a condescending prick. I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I'm sorry. Yes, this is a historical achievement that most people will not remember. The Guinness World Records. I literally went to a Scholastic book fair at my school. Loved it. I loved it. It makes me feel like a kid. And I saw a Guinness World Record and I'm flipping through. I'm like, these are achievements? What the heck? I didn't know this was even a thing. And that's what this is going to be. I think even for gamers, most people will forget or not care. And that's okay, right? That's okay. I think it's the reason why this is getting so much backlash is because we're gamers and you're attacking our community, or it seems like she's attacking our community. She's making fun of our community because he's part of the gaming community. And the gaming community is slowly getting noticed, right? It's not this taboo thing. Even content creators and their job is being more noticed than the normal. And I say job because not everyone can do it. I mean, you could attempt it, but it doesn't mean you're actually going to be able to pay your bills doing it. And that's the big difference between a normal job and a content creator. But we're talking about gaming. And gaming, like MLG, is starting to be slowly creeping into like notice level, but it's still nothing compared to sports, right? It's just not in the same world or sphere. It's trying to, and it's making progress. But we have to stop to realize that this lady is not in the minority. She's the majority. And it's not just boomers. She's a boomer. I don't think people understand that beliefs are passed on to the younger generation. She has a kid who may very well grow up with the same opinions. Society overall has the same general opinion that games are just entertainment and that anything that comes from them is okay. Who cares? Like, for instance, do you know, like, let's talk about movies. How many movies have won like Emmys and have made millions of dollars and they've made history? How many people actually care about that? Like, let's stop to think about that. Do you really care? And most of us would say, no, we don't. And you have to put it in that perspective. That's how people see with gaming, right? They see it from the gaming. Now, what she did, now, do I go around telling people like, oh, go touch, she didn't say touch grass, but that's essentially what she meant. Go touch grass. Well, it's not a life goal. And she's right. It's not a life goal. It's not for life. It's just a goal. I think you can have life goals and then goals that you're working toward in the moment. And that's what he was doing. He found a goal to chase in this moment. He's 13 years old. He's accomplished something impressive. That doesn't mean that his life is going to revolve around it. I highly doubt he will get rich off this achievement. He might get some fame. In fact, I would argue that the people who are upset with her should actually be applauding her, specifically because of her. This kid's getting more fame than he would without it. And same thing with her. She's getting more fame than she probably ever would in her line of work. Oh, music's off. Serious moment. But let's not act like that's not the case. I would never know who she was until this situation. I would never know about him or his achievement if it wasn't for her causing this situation. Because only reason I know is because then it blows up on Twitter or it blows up all over the news that this is a thing. But I think it's very shallow to call someone condescending and a prick and say because they're a boomer. My grandpa is older than her. And I remember when I was a kid, I had the OG Xbox, and I was playing Call of Duty Big Red 1. And he would sit there and watch me play, and he would talk about some of the historical context. And guess what? He worked on computers for a living. Like, he did coding. So to assume that everyone who doesn't like video games is a boomer, or because they're old, because they're a boomer, I think is very, it's doing what she's doing, right? She's masking video games as, oh, it's not a big deal. She's masking it. She's not appreciating it. She's stereotyping. And I think we are stereotyping her and every boomer into one category. Oh, you don't like video games, or you don't think video games are a big deal, or the achievement's a big deal, then you're a boomer. But like I said, people are having kids. Society, we are the minority in this society. I love games, and I will defend games. In fact, when I was in high school, I made a whole speech about the benefits of video games. I talked about how the Army actually uses simulations to help train soldiers. How people use like the Wii to help people with their health, to help with physical therapy. How there's games being used for the blind and all these different disabilities. Like there's benefits in video games, and we all know, like, if you care, you know. We want to slam the news anchor for her thoughts, but her thoughts are the majority. Is it rude and disrespectful? Absolutely. Again, it's like me saying, oh, you went to space. Man, if only you used your time finding a cure for cancer instead. That really diminished their my mindset is completely ignoring their accomplishments. I could have just kept it to myself, even if that's my belief. If that was her belief, that's great. It was pretty rude of her. It could have been any accomplishment. It could have been the first guy to eat 3,000 million ice creams. I don't know. And she could have said, man, you could just eat like a normal person. It would have been very rude and disrespectful. So I think she does deserve to be called out for being rude. I don't think she's a prick. I think she just, in her mindset, which is the majority mindset of society, even whether it's across the pond. I live in America, because in America it's still the same thing. Just the mindset is that video games are not looked as a big deal. And there's a lot of people who have stories of becoming full-time streamers or content creators whose parents are disappointed in them because they don't understand. Because society in a whole does not view gaming as, unless you are making the game, playing video games as a stable part of society. And a lot of people think 13-year-olds, and I would agree, should be outside. I think it's great, but how often is this kid going outside? I think that is a good question. I think that's valid. Did she paint it like that? No, she just straight up attacked this kid, which that never ends well for anyone attacking someone based on their achievement. But if she framed it as, I have kids, I think, I'm concerned how much time he's getting outside. He's a 13-year-old. Kids need to be kids. They need to be outside. When I was 13-year-old, yes, I played video games, but I was also outside. I remember walking around playing Spider-Man on the Game Boy Color while chasing the girls in my neighborhood playing tag. I was dedicated. I was active and I was gaming. I was doing the Lord's work. I was representing gamers out there. And no, I did not end up having a girlfriend from one of them. Anyways, the point is, I think she does deserve some flack, but should we try to cancel her? Cancel. Should we cancel her? Should we attack her? Make fun of her? Should we blame it on because she's a boomer? No, if anything, we need to blame it on the societal view of gaming. That's the bottom dollar. And society overall rules the train of thought of the masses. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, let's be better and not just call people boomers and I don't know, like, let's just be better. Let's not get on her level and be rude, because I feel like we're only making ourselves look bad by attacking her. So just let her live in her bubble, in her world, and let's just celebrate the guy. If you care, give the guy praise and just focus on that. Until next time, game out. Huzzah!